Have you ever wondered about the journey that an Ingenico terminal takes to get to our customer and be fully functional? Then wonder no more, because we're going to explain how the magic works. Iris has just joined Ingenico, and she knows that we're involved in making payment terminals, but she's really not sure what that means. So come with us on our journey while we explain it to her. It doesn't matter what part of our business you have joined around the world, we're all in the business of making payments seamless. In fact, we're the best in the world at it. To enable us to do that, it's important that everyone that works with us has at least a basic understanding of what goes into making one of these terminals work. We want everyone to be able to explain to their friends and family how what we do contributes to making their lives simpler by making payments simple and seamless. We don't care if you're boring them, we just want the world to understand how much easier we make life. Without us, it would be so much harder to split the bill 6 ways at dinner. So let's get started on how it all works while we follow Terry the Terminal through his journey. It may come as a surprise to you that Terry's story doesn't start with our products. It starts with our customer. Craig the customer has got in touch with us to inquire about his options. He used our website to get in touch, and Mandy in marketing passes his inquiry to Simona from sales, who gets in touch to get a better understanding of his needs and set up an initial meeting at a time that suits. Craig has explained that he is the payment manager of a small chain of supermarkets, and he needs to buy some terminals to use in his stores. As well as retailers, we also work with banks and independent sales organizations, known as ISOs. These customers are generally larger businesses who sell payment solutions to smaller businesses, but who buy their terminals from us in bulk orders. Simona got lots of information from Craig initially to help her understand the scale of the project and to identify who she'd take to the initial meeting. It's important that she involves the solutions team at this point so that they can get into the necessary level of detail. She always tries to take at least a solutions manager along to the meeting with her, and sometimes brings operations, depending on the situation. At the meeting, Simona talks Craig through the various options available, and Shane and Olga get the information that they need to accurately plan and schedule the project, both in terms of delivery and cost. Craig now has all the information that he needs to make a decision. He's delighted with the proposal that the team put to him, and he decides to go ahead with his purchase and become an Ingenico customer. Now, we start to focus on the build phase. A huge amount of work goes on in the background here with our professional services and project management teams. They meet the customer to create the project plan and discuss the operating system and software requirements that will be loaded onto the terminals to meet the customer's unique needs, as well as many other things. We won't get into the fine detail, but trust me when I say, it's a lot of technical work that goes on to ensure that our vision of seamless payment is realized for our customers. Now, we'll move on to the production area, which we refer to as customization, where you can start to see stuff happening. This will depend on what the customer wants, but there are 5 main elements in the customization phase, and would you believe it? None of them involve building the terminal. We stopped producing the terminals ourselves a few years ago and focused all of our attention on the technology to provide a full managed payment solution, and now buy them in from our partners. First, Chris shows Iris the decant area, where the newly received terminals are removed from their boxes and checked to make sure that the terminal they're handling is the right one for the customer, and that all the parts that are required for the order are there. The scheduling team will have been involved in the project planning stage to identify when that customer's order can be fulfilled, so that the work orders received by the production team will confirm everything that they need to know to fulfill the customer order. Once Dave is satisfied that he has everything that he needs, he packs it all away into a tray and takes it through to the build team, who will then load on the architecture required to meet the customer requirements. Now that we're in the build part of production, this is where we really start to get into the nitty-gritty of building the terminal to the customer's needs. We know that we have the right terminal as Dave and the Decant team checked it all, so what we do here is load up all of the architecture that the customer has requested. This includes specifying the types of card that the terminal will accept, loading up the operating systems and software that will make the payment seamless, and generally adding on all of the technical stuff that the solutions manager and operations team agreed with the customer. Once the basic build has been added to the terminal, if our customer has purchased our fully managed payment system, the terminals will all have to go into the secret secure room, where no one except the people that work in there really know what happens. As well as delivering seamless payment, we're also in the business of security, and this is where what we refer to as point-to-point encryption is loaded onto the system. This means that the terminal is set up with several levels of protection and encryption that make it unhackable to those pesky people who are always trying to steal our personal data. Point-to-point encryption ensures that the chip within the terminal that holds all of those financial transactions and personal data is secure. In all of our years in business, we've never had a single security breach, and we don't plan on starting now. Beth from Build then collects the terminals from the secret secure room and either passes them on to Pascal in packing or Anna in audit. We don't carry out a 100% audit, but we will audit a minimum of 10% of our terminals to make sure that we have configured them correctly to the customer's needs. This basically involves Anna checking every element of the terminal to make sure that it matches what is on the work order. Pascal in packing will then basically put the terminal into the correct box for that order and pack it up safely to ensure that the customer receives everything that they ordered. You wouldn't believe how many different boxes there are or how they differ in size, but it's basically about how the customer wants the box packed and how much packing material and security tagging is required on the terminal. Now that we're happy that Terry the terminal is configured exactly as our customer requires him to be, all that we have to do is get him out there to Craig the customer so that he can start accepting payments from his customers seamlessly. In our warehouse, we basically organize our stock according to the 3 different kinds of customer order. Just in time, where we build terminals for our customer based on orders they have placed with us, so they're usually shipped out to our customer pretty quickly. Just in case, where we build terminals for our customers who have placed an order, but they haven't sold the unit yet. These are usually for our customers that we refer to as ISOs or acquirers. Bulk orders, which are most often deliveries through a third party, and often for our Nordic and retail customers. We operate a system where orders are shrink-wrapped in different colors, clear shrink wrap when they are to be stored in the warehouse, while black shrink wrap means they're ready for collection from our courier service. Christine, our courier, will then deliver our terminal to Craig the customer, who will then be able to benefit from the seamless payment system using Terry the terminal. Depending on the contract that he has agreed with Ingenico and the product he has purchased, he'll either be able to plug him in and he'll automatically enter a setup mode and be ready to use without any intervention, plug him in and contact our contact center to assist in setting him up, or a third-party logistics company will arrive and will set him up for him. Craig went for the fully configured option, so all he has to do is plug Terry in and he's ready to go. Like all of us, sometimes our terminals like Terry get a bit sick. As long as our product is within the warranty, or if our customer has a service agreement with us, then that's no problem. Good job for Craig. He took out a service package with us, so he's covered for all breakdowns. All Craig has to do is call our customer contact center and explain what problem he's having. If we're not able to solve it for him by using our root cause analysis questions, then we send Craig a replacement terminal and packaging for him to send Terry the terminal back to us, and we'll give him a new lease of life. When Terry the terminal arrives at our warranty and service center, the first stop is to Audrey Audit. This audit team essentially do the same as the customization audit team do, but in reverse. They check Terry the terminal over and see how he's supposed to be working and where he's not. They diagnose him before sending him off for repair. Based on the findings of Audrey Audit, it's then down to Roger Repair to come to the rescue and fix Terry the terminal. It might be anything from broken software, to a crack in the outer shell, to a component breaking away and requiring soldering. Whatever is involved, it's up to Roger to repair it and get Terry back out to a new customer. Terry won't go back to Craig, as we've already provided him with a replacement. Remember, he came to us for a seamless payment system, so we provided that by making sure he's never without a terminal. Now that Roger in repair has worked his magic, we then fully test Terry the terminal to make sure he's working correctly before reloading the correct customer software, carrying out an audit inspection, and revisiting the secret secure room to load the necessary encryption keys, just like we did on our original build in the customization department. Then it's back off to the packing bay, and Pascal, who will repack Terry the terminal into the correct box. Pascal then passes Terry the terminal back to Deborah in distribution to arrange for him to be couriered back via our trusty courier Christine to be distributed to a new customer to ensure seamless payment is made simple with the help of Terry the Terminal and Ingenico. Now Iris feels that she understands a little bit more of how it all works and can't wait to get stuck into her training and contribute to the success of Ingenico Group, global leader in seamless payment.